So yesterday we spoke about each one of these things. So is Sotapanna. Now we're coming to Sotapanna state. He comes to the Buddha Dhamma. First thing what Buddha does is to change the perception. So now we are coming into cutting off the perception. Now we need to understand, like Ashwin was asking about sanya, perception. So we need to understand in greater detail because the entire thing is only on changing perception. Nothing else changes. The way you see things is changing. That is perception. Let's say I'm seeing this body is Vilas, is a Puttujana, and now I come into Buddha Dhamma, I will get to know how to make this Vilas disappear. That's a shift. That's a mental shift from A to B. This sometimes is dangerous if it doesn't happen both sides. Meaning you should be able to come back to your original, meaning conventional reality. This is a conventional reality. Samuchi Satya. And there is Paramattha Satya. Paramattha. Attha as in essence. Parama is ultimate. Ultimate essence and worldly essence. It's not that the worldly essence is not at all there. So if somebody thinks, feels, feeling, Vedana, thinks, Vitakka, or rather Vichara, if he thinks and feels that worldly thing is not there, then he is greatly mistaken or gravely mistaken. Okay. Why I'm talking this dangerous is because if the perception changes without proper guidance, then there is no way to reverse it back. That person becomes a mad person. Okay. I'm not trying to scare, but that is how we have to go in steps. We have to understand this body, then we understand the mind, then we know the body is transient, then we know the mind is transient, and then we know the feeling. It's also transient. Transient as in arising and passing away. And hence the perception keeps on changing till we reach 8th jhana. So the feeling and perception is still 8th jhana. Not this one. This is one part of it. That are my normal going from office to home, home to office, this body, the train I'm taking or what car I'm driving, all of that is one part of it. That's not the only part of it. Why? Because when you sit in meditation, meaning when you get into the Goenka technique as an example, now you are watching the breath at this nostril area. You're changing the perception if you don't know. Because every observation changes the perception. Whatever you observe, like I and you and Chirag, let's say we were going on a walk. We see a trail. Trail is a perception, not train, trail. Walking trail is a perception. We're seeing a trail. There's no trail there, but we are calling that as a trail. What if suddenly I go insane? I don't see the trail. What happens? For Aryu and Chirag, it's still a trail. For me, I'm lost. They say, Vilas, how is the trail? What trail? Who trail? Because my perception is gone. And can I get my perception back? No. It's gone. Gone for good. So then what to do with Vilas? How will you send him home? this problem is going to be there. So, wait, Ashwin. So, Samadhi portion is only applicable when we have Sila in a proper way. So, that's the guiding principle. Especially when we have something Vyapada, anger, and we try doing this, that's the reason Sotapanna is a must. If we are not Sotapanna and we're trying to do something, it's going to be dangerous affair, because we are going on 24 of these alignments. They are not easy alignments. You are literally saying there is no patavi. Ma manni. Don't consider. Apo ma manni. Tejo ma manni. Vayu ma manni. Bhuta ma manni. Deva ma manni. Like that. It's not an easy thing. I don't think so anybody will go to so seriousness, so it is fine. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll first take with Ashwin. Yes, Ashwin.
Can just miss anybody? I'm just a little bit changing the subject. If somebody walking on the trail and he's in Pruthakjan and he start assuming it is a snake or it is a python, is that can happen that
Yes,
that
yes.
trail can become a python or the anaconda or whatever is the
For
snake?
him, because he gets into hallucination.
Hmm.
Like what Marin was talking yesterday, hypoglycemic hallucination. That can happen. When the sugar level goes down, the person hallucinates. Like I've seen my father, when his sugar level went down, he was showing me the mobile phone and he was telling me the radio is not coming. Something has gone wrong with the radio. I'm listening to the song and it's not coming. Why don't you take this and make the sound come? I'm telling my father, Dad, this is not a transistor or something. This is a mobile phone. He's saying, no, no, no. I was hearing this music. I'm not getting it. Then we took him to the doctor. And then when he checked, he was hypoglycemic. Now, when does this happen? When the person suddenly loses the perception, the sugar level just goes down. It's a temporary sugar reduction, not that he's got into diabetic or whatever condition, the sugar goes down. Let's say you should have 90, 80 to 90 sugar. At that moment, he's in 60s, 65, 50, something like that. So the brain is not getting enough sugar to keep it. So what it does, it creates hallucination. Just hallucinates. And if it stays in that hallucination area for long, it will have a long lasting effect. It will create a perception about that hallucination itself. And the person starts to feel, I am this. Okay. So why I'm putting all of this kind of thing is that we should be sure that you are Sotapanna. Because Sila is strong. This is not going to break. That's how Buddha's teachings are. It's not for mass, it's for the class. Yes, sorry, you had asked.
No problem.
Yes.
So when you say Sotapanna is a must, do you mean this vipassana, this kind of vipassana about the four elements should not be done before one is Sotapanna? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. We are presuming everyone is a Sotapanna because he's doing something or the other and we think, right? But when we come to MN1, where you are to get going on all 24 perceptions, right? See, ultimately, what are these? Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, all that is perceptions or not? You're perceiving earth. Sanjanati, please don't forget that. Sanjanati is perception. He perceives earth as earth. In English, they have put it earth as head. So since it is like that, nobody understands what it is, so nothing happens. But if you take it seriously, you know earth is not earth. Yes.
So this comment, I guess, is more specific about MN1. This you must be a
I'm
Sotapanna.
talking Buddha Dhamma is MN1, DN1. Simple. The entire Dhamma is in only two. If you read DN1, you will come to know what is views, what you should let go, Ditti. Yes.
So I guess what is forbidden to be done before one is Sotapanna?
Is forbidden to tell you nothing is forbidden. We are in MN1. That's the reason I'm putting cautions. If we are in some other sutta, I don't even care, because that doesn't change anybody's perception. You please understand, it changes your perception of all 24. Yes.
And I guess a slightly related question is that you say this Vyapada, right, for example, is dangerous. But if someone is doing samatha and vipassana, anyways, in that samatha, the hindrances are suppressed. And so when he's doing...
Let's say this is a Puttujana who has done all 24. Now he is introduced to Buddha Dhamma. Let's say there's a Puttujana who is able to go into the everything. Now he comes into Buddha Dhamma.
Aryu may not be knowing yesterday what happened. That's why not.
No, I have told him.
Okay, you
In the morning, I was messaging him and telling him. So it's not about that person is triggering me this, but that's a good, thing, what we need to know. It's nothing bad or good about it. It is that MN1, or as far as Buddha Dhamma goes, it's about changing perceptions. That's it. You perceive something which doesn't even exist. Like I'm perceiving vilas, which is never existing. It never existed. It was just said that this is Vilas and this is the father, this is the brother, this is the son, this is what. All are perceptions. I'm just perceiving. I am Vilas and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, all of that. But you change the perception. There's no Vilas. So all things associated with Vilas is no longer true. If Vilas itself is not there, who is the brother of Vilas? No. Who is the husband? No. Who is a countryman there? No. Who is an employee? No. Because no, Vilas itself is not there. That's Arhat. Basically. What he does is he creates it now. Right? He creates a concept. And just for that transaction. Now, the difference between a Puttujana and this Arhat, a Puttujana, if this happens, the perception gone, he doesn't know what to do next. In an Arhat, he gets back the perception instantaneously. Meaning he can be here, he can be there. Yes.
I guess it's just fair trivial examples. I guess for things that's not so fundamental, let's say, because we keep on in this Dhamma video, we're saying there's no mountain view, there's no home. And if a householder or normal person just keeps saying, it's not a home, it's just a house. That's no danger in that kind of level of vipassana, right? That's fine. Yeah.
It's like, I'll give you another example. Open Mahahatti Pado Upama Sutta. In that, Sariputta explains how to let go of perception there. Nobody experiences that. If they were to experience it, at the very moment, they lose the body. It talks about having wood, twigs, blah, blah, as a house. And the same way, sinews, bones, and all that is called as a body, which I showed it to Bobby the other day. And we can read it. Nothing is going to happen to us. So it's safe. You can read it 100 times. But what if that perception changes? It's a wow effect for a real, trainee. But for an non-Buddha enlightened, as far as the sila goes, that guy lands up in a mess. Yes.
I guess things like what you taught Tina when you're here, when he's perceiving the whole body as just teeth and the body got removed. If a normal person were to achieve that, his mind will become so disturbed, he's become disoriented. But Tina was able to handle it, but because at least she has a good moral foundation and he knows some Dhamma, and she can handle that.
Yes, that's right. That's what I meant. So the reason why I'm saying that is that we need to know what it leads to. Not that we shouldn't do it. We should ensure that the person is Sotapanna. So the question comes here is, are you a Sotapanna? And that's what Buddha says, that you should know. There are so many suttas, including Mahaparinibbana Sutta. And he says they can declare. Why? Because to do this, that's a prerequisite. The person is not even Sotapanna. Good news is he will not understand. But the bad news is if something he misunderstands, and he's in trouble. Because there's no sila, there's no backing of sila. So it just picks him out. Yes, Ashwin.
Is the Devdutt, the brother, cousin of Gautam Buddha, he is also not a Sotapanna, correct? And he is using, still he got as a Pruthakjan, he got a psychic power.
Yeah, that is fair. That can happen. That was the reason, right? He was having more psychic powers. See, psychic power can be developed by any means. You can go by any tradition. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but Pruthakjan, without understanding completely, he start using this sutta as a learning.
Fair. Yeah, that is fair. But then his mind will get blown away, right? So then he gets stuck in that. He can't let go of it. See, the thing is, he's letting go. See, the Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo is 4 things. It's okay. At least there's some thing. How about Bhuta? If you start saying ghost, what will you do? How will you come out of it? It's a hallucination to the highest. Then Deva, and the person will say, God has come. Then what to do with that fellow? I'm seeing so many gods now like that. Right? Pajapati. He'll say, Pajapati, please come. Oh, it's been so long you have not visited me. Brahma, Abhasara, like that. You got the point. It's a perceiving thing, right? He is perceiving. Sanjanati. Yes, Anita.
Namo Buddhaya, sir.
Namo Buddhaya.
Sir, without meditation, can we reach Shrotapanna?
Good and a bad question. So let me explain the good question and the bad thing there, both. Good thing is, Sotapanna is an understanding through Sila. If your Sila is developed, you will have an experience of Buddha through the Dhamma. And you will be only with those people who make sense relating to that. Now, what is meditation? Meditation can be of two kinds. One is a closed eyes meditation and one is an open eyes meditation. In a closed eyes meditation, you sit in one place as in Vipassana for 10 days or whatever it is. And then when you get the Bhanga experience, and then you get into Sotapanna because you lose the body. So there's a perception change of body to no body, or what he calls as free flow dhara prava. Then you know that there is much more to it. So there's a perception change. And the stronger the seal, the higher is the possibility of getting that. So for 100 people going into Vipassana course, maybe 1 or 2 will get everything, whatever Goenka says. So the remaining people are just trying it out. This retreat didn't happen, next retreat it will happen, and then next retreat it will happen. So that is fine. That's a good one. You keep on going in that. Okay. But if that person gets all the 6 senses closed, then he becomes Sotapanna. So then he knows he has come out of it, that when the consciousness just drops, and that moment in that tradition is when the person achieves Sotapatti Phala, Magga Phala, and then he's a Sotapanna. So now when he comes back, his perception of world is changed. Now such a person can start doing this because already this complete change has happened in him. Okay, now what's the bad thing about what you asked? If somebody is in the 10-day meditation and has not got anything, he keeps on getting addicted or craving for that, and he keeps on going there. So basically, you don't require to do meditation to come into Buddha Dhamma. You require Saddha to get into Buddha Dhamma, for which the prerequisite is 10 immoral deeds have to be removed, and then 5 sila or 8 sila should be done. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. So basically, somebody wanted to ask before she asked, or no? Okay. Basically, if I am a Sotapanna, then I can understand abhinya. Abhinya as a term, I can understand. If I am not a Sotapanna, no matter how many times or how many ways you translate it or try to make out of it, you will not have it, because nibbida has never happened. So the litmus test to say is you should have got disillusioned. If the illusion exists, then the viraga will not happen. If the viraga doesn't happen, the nirodha will not happen. The nirodha will not happen, peace will not come. If the peace doesn't come, abhinya will not be there. So it is safer that way, that a normal person will never get this. No matter how much he reads, studies, understand, do whatever it is, he will not get into it. So majority of the people being like that, this won't be dangerous. But as far as a Sotapanna goes, if he is not a Sotapanna and he forcefully try doing a perception change, that might create danger. As far as MN1 goes, or Mahahattipada Upama Sutta, same thing. If somebody force fits it, then it's a danger. I'm not saying Buddha Dhamma is a danger. No. I'm not saying he shouldn't be studying Sutta. No. He can study as many Suttas as he wants. He might even become a PhD in Sutta. Nothing is going to change in him because the perception remains the same. He's a normal worldling knowing a lot of Buddha Dhamma. Maybe he has written an exam in the Buddha Dhamma and he has got a medal and he might have got a certificate, he might have got so many other laurels, and he writes good books, he translates, he does everything. It's fine, it's fair. As long as the perception is not changed, everything is fair. But these 24 things are a change of perception. The sanya will change. See, what does he say? Ghana sanya to anicca sanya. We might read it, but you're not able to understand. Ghana means brought up, totally condensed. If something is condensed, then something should be separate, right? It's not one side. Now we are seeing condensed. It's all like this, solidified. Instead of that, you're seeing like a frame by frame by frame. This happened to me in 2021, before the COVID lockdown. I was walking with my friend in a park, like our daily walk. All of a sudden, I'm seeing in front of me is one body falling, another body coming up, and that falling, another body coming up, and that falling, another body coming up, that falling in quick successions. And I'm seeing a tree. Oh, tree falls, a new one, tree falls, a new one, and everything is, it was overwhelming for me for the initial few moments. Then I understood frame per second. Got it. It was the most happiest moment of my life. And I'm seeing FPS in action. Frame by frame by frame by frame by frame. And it sieves two things. When it is not at all there, it seems like this and it drops off. And it comes here, drops off. I was able to see that. One gone, another gone, another gone, another. Then I understood, wow, this is what Buddha says about aging. The next frame is different. The next frame is different. The next frame is different. In fact, the motion picture is like that. That's the reason Buddha says Maya Upamancha Vinyanam. The reason why he uses the word Maya is it looks like together when there's no togetherness. But now you can watch YouTube video, give FPS 100,000, 1 million and all that, you get 60 FPS, 30 FPS. The photographs like what the video is getting recorded. If you say 1080 pixel, 60 FPS, 60 frames per second. So the sieving of that thing is 60. But can you see it like that? That's a perception change. It's mind-boggling when you really see that. Wow. Like, you take a book and you're flipping it and each movement is happening. Like earlier Tom and Jerry, if you see, it's like a flipping of that and you see a mouse coming out and then stops because the paper is stopped there, it stops. That's exactly what is happening here also. It's just a flipping, one frame, the second frame, third frame, 100 frame, 200 frame, 500 frame, like that. All of us are the same. It's just frames. That's anicca in its original sense. Arising and passing away. It's not the arising and passing away of what we are talking. Ours is still gross. This is the subtle arising and passing, just like the frame by frame by frame by frame. That's what is arising, right? That frame arises, passes away, arises, passes away, arises, passes away, like that. There's no person there. Anatta. That's the example I can give. And that was a mind-boggling thing for me because in March of 2020, they made a lockdown, including parks and everything. I still remember February 18th, 2020, when this happened. It's 5 years since. And I had this frame by frame by frame by frame experience. I stayed there for a long time on that day. And now I can get that frame by frame anytime I wish. I just look at it, I keep on staring at it. It just turns itself into frames. That's abhinya. So how many of you have abhinya? Patavim abhijanati. Yes.
Question. How many FPS is reality then?
The sieving, there is one sutta for that matter, Aryu. So there is 6 monks, okay? They go and they come up with each simile or each this one, and they say, who is the seamstress?
Majay Sutta, you're saying.
Majje Sutta. Right? That's exactly what it is. Your question is answered there because consciousness will sieve it.
So let's say I see a movie, it says 120 frames per second. But in reality, it could be less. But then the sieving happens more seamlessly. Hence, it feels more smooth.
Exactly. You take okay, we'll do one small thing. Hold on. Since you asked me, this is a good one. Thank you, Aryu. I love you a lot because of these things. See it in action. Action. He's talking about visualizing video at a speed of light. There's a camera what they have made. So I'm not putting the volume. This is from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. So see, he's going to put the light, and it's in 1 million frames, 1 trillion frames, right? It shows seamless. So just light goes like this. That's exactly what's happening with us. Now he's showing all his things and all that. So don't bother much about it. Now just bother about the frames. You see this? He'll throw it through the Coca-Cola bottle, and that's how our life is starting and ending. That's exactly what Vijnana is doing. That's Vijnana. What you just now saw, the light, just bringing it to life and then departing. Now he'll show it with apple or whatever. I think it is actually tomato. Yeah, I think so. Oh, it's done. Hmm. See, it just brings to life. And this is exactly how you call it as soul, or you call it as consciousness, vijnana, or chitta, whatever. That's exactly what it is. Just comes, stitches everything, and goes away. There's 1 trillion. Now that tomato comes to life. See, this is how it brings to life. The green starts, meaning just like the vijnana comes, it starts to grow and decay and die. Again, consciousness comes, it decays and dies. In that, there's so many frames. That's the stitching, Majje Sutta. This is chitta, whatever we are talking, right? So vijnana, mano, chitta. This what light you're seeing is the chitta. That's what brings life. It stays there till the ayu is. Okay, ayu as in life. Otherwise, it becomes chuti. It cuts.
Which sutta it is?
Majje Sutta. So this is how it stitches. Stitching like that. So now you are seeing it individually. That's what happens as a sekha. From Puthujana point of view, it's like this. Whereas Arya can penetrate and see it. Now that light thing, what I showed Ashwin, it's 1 trillion, or in fact, it is even more. And that's the reason in many books, in fact, written by Lady Sayadaw, he says it happens millions and millions and millions because the chitta chetasika, all that abhidhamma thing, right? It's like that. It's in trillions. In that, chetasika will come. So phassa, vedana, chetana, phassa, vedana, sanya, chetana, manasikara, ekagata, like that. That's what it comes. The 7 universal chetasikas will come within the chitta, within this light, and jivitindriya. So the jivitindriya is one which is giving life. In the light, this jivitindriya will just show life, and it departs along with the chitta. So when the chitta arises, it arises with 7 and collapses with the 7, and then it arises 7 and collapses with 7, and giving a effect of as though they were together.
What do you mean by 7?
7 universal chetasikas.
Okay.
That is phassa, vedana, sanya, chetana, manasikara, chief indriya ekagata. That's in Abhidhamma. So if you see what's a reality in Abhidhamma, it says Rupa, Chitta, Chetasika, Nibbana. That's all. And when they say arising, passing, is this frame. It just arises, went away. Next arises, went away. Next arises, went away. Like that. It just keeps on going. Like that. That's anicca, sanya, perception. And hence Buddha started with anatta sanya. That's the most easiest than anicca. Otherwise we keep on saying anicca, anitya, or impermanent, or whatever. That makes no difference. Because you're not seeing the frame per second. So how would you experience it? You should change your perception. This will change only for one who's sila. Then he is in Sotapanna. He knows he is a Sotapanna. Then he goes to the Sakadagami. Once he's Sakadagami, he can see the frame per second. From then onwards. Anāgami can see it all the time. Anyway, coming back to the subject, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. 4 of them you're seeing now as individually. They are joined together by consciousness. The best sutta to experience this is the Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta. Anybody having experienced Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta, MN 140, can understand this more clearly than the MN1, what we're talking about. Because there he says how to do it. So those who have never experienced it, they are Sotapannas, and they can try out through Dhatu Vibhanga, and you will get that radiance, which is what he says, pure and bright. You get that radiance. In that radiance, the chitta can be seen. That one can be established in first jhana. So it gets into the Vedana, Sukha Vedana. 1, 2, 3 jhanas happening. And when it emerges out, there is Dukkha Vedana. And when it enters into Upekha, there is Adukha Sukha Vedana. Now, having attained till here, he attempts to go into the Akashanchayatana, Vinyananchayatana, Akinchayatana, Neva Sanyana Sanyayatana. Okay? These 8, when a person experiences his perception, ayatana, from where the perception is drawn, is changed. Because ayatana only should get experience, or the perception is in ayatana. Chakkayatana, rupa is in where? Is in chakku, sota, ghana, jivha, kaya, mano. So the perception is where? Rupa sanya, saddha sanya, gandha sanya, right? So that's what we are talking about. So the perception will change. Whatever he was perceiving earlier is no longer he can perceive. So now he has got into Ariyamagga, because the ending can be seen. He was going in circle like this. Now the perception is changed. So hence he is on the track of making it Sanya, Vedayita, Nirodha. Okay, so let's say, take my case, when in 2021, February 18, this thing happened. The perception is completely different. I know I've experienced it. In fact, at that point in time, we were doing a Vedanta class, and I had shared this to, like, we have this head here, center head. I sent her this video, this very video, explaining to her how I saw it. I came back home running after seeing this beautiful thing. I told my friend, you know what? I'm seeing everything as a frame. He was saying, what frame? Where frame? What are you talking about? I said, you'll not understand it. Leave me. I'll go home. So I went, I searched for frame per second. Then I got into MIT. Then I took this video, same video what I just now showed you. And I sent it, and they couldn't understand anything, whatever I'm saying. And then I met in the office. That was the last time we ever saw office. It was I think February 24th, the office closed. So I had been to office. There I explained on the board how this frame works. Anyway, they couldn't understand. That's a separate issue. But that's what I've seen. And now I can go all 24. Okay, so that's the reason I was wanting Aryu to get that passing away effect. I was hell-bent upon Aryu and Chirag and his wife Vrinda to get this movement, because that's exactly what it does. It's consciousness building one top of the other, one top of the other, one top of the other. If you are able to see that, like on that day, his perception changed. And now you see every time he drives, he can do it. And looking at that, on that the same day when Aryu got it, Chirag's wife Vrinda, so she started getting it, because after we came back home and all that, and then after he got it, and then he put on his big TV, this road journey, and he was enjoying it. Then Vrinda came and she said, let me also see it. And she started seeing it. And initially she got it, but it went away. I don't think so she ever got after that. Not too sure that she could get all the time. And that's because of hindrance. If she removes the hindrance, it works. Yes.
This sometimes we stopping in the waiting for the train to come or train to pass by in the platform, and then we constantly look at that the moving train becomes stationary and we become
Exactly.
moving.
Correct. That is what you should get all the time.
That is every time you should get. So that's what
all the time.
Correct.
In all the things. Because
that's halogen, and then we just shock and then we shook our head to come back to original state. Now always we do.
Because the perception is changed. There's a change in perception. That's a very good example. In fact, I told this when I was there in the US. That's how one train passing another train, you'd feel for a second this train is moving, and when that train is moving. Because you have become a witness. At that moment, you have become the witness. Everything moves. But you are there. And that's the reason he says Sakshi.
It's a shock, actually. It's a shock.
First
time it will be shock.
And that's the reason I took them to the beach. We went everywhere, to show them that how to see it. That's exactly what I'm trying to do with Bobby and his family when I go to Australia. Because sitting in one room may not give you that movement effect. That movement should be seen. That's Vijnana. Whatever moves is Vijnana. Okay? The movement, what causes is Vijnana. Like I'm seeing the water coming and going. Like I was explaining to you, Ashwin, few minutes ago. on how do we see the five khandhas. That movement itself is vijnana. It moves something which stationary. And that's the reason you get a shock when you see the other train moving, your train moving when the other train is really moving. Yes, Aryu.
So you are always talking about there are 4 stages. These, falling away, rising, passing away, stills, and it breaks down. When you had experience in that park where you took a walk, it's beyond these 4 steps, right? And then so you're saying, or
It's all the 4.
it's all the 4, yeah. It's all the 4 complete.
Complete.
When it culminates, it becomes like that.
When it combines, it becomes no frame. Like right now, I'm seeing Ashwin, I'm seeing Aryu, I'm seeing Mrutyunjay and Veena like that. He is already condensed. But if I seeing you without staring, just observing you, Aryu, then it turns itself into a frame.
So when you're saying it joins and it falls down, join and falls down, that's because in the 3rd stage you see just the frame, right? So at which stage you see the
First stage, you become a witness. Now you will not fall or do whatever it is. Right now, arising, passing, then it just stills. It just stills. This you have to experience it. Now there's no word to explain you the stillness. So I love this one, Ajahn Chah, his book, Still Flowing Water. That's perfect analogy. He's still, water is flowing. And after that comes into emptiness. Yes. Good.
But the 2nd stage where you only see the rising and falling is not the same thing you were describing as the frame. That's a separate
It
thing.
is.
It is.
It is. It's arising. You can see it's arising and it's going away. It's arising, is going away, right?
Okay. So
Like that light arose and it went away, right? Now sometimes you only see the passing away. You will not see the arising. Sometimes you only see the arising, but not passing away. Now you see the arising, passing away.
So I guess when my manager came the other day and he experienced the 2nd and 3rd stage, he would have seen what you were seeing the other time.
Yes, that's the reason he was fixated. If you see, his eyes was fixated. That photograph what you have taken, his eyes is fixated.
Become like a dumb person kind of.
Yeah, he was in the mall. We had to shake him up. Correct? When you wanted to take a picture of him, 3 of us selfie, we had to shake him up because the consciousness is completely got frozen. Your manager could book it like this. And in fact, how much time did it take? You've seen it. We came left and left turn towards that thing and his. And all the while his mouth was open. He has not seen frame by frame, that's okay, but he's seeing arising and passing away. So that will still you, totally you get stilled up. Oh man, what's happening? So the trail what we were taking on that day, along with him, is beautiful. And then we went to the hotel. Till that time, he was doing it. Till we went to the hotel, the Chat Bhavan, where we went and ate. So he was doing it. And in fact, he was not willing to let it go, right? It's such a nice thing. If you get it, there's nothing. There's no other happiness more than that. Nibbanam paramam sukham. If he had even more pushed a little bit, that's the reason I was telling him when we went to that Fairfield Mall, I told him, just push a little, you're there. Even when I saw Best Buy on the right-hand side, I was telling him, just push it. I'm seeing he's doing it. Chest push, he just dropped it like one. Anyway. And when you took right into the mall and then we were going to the parking lot, again he started getting it. I again told him, push it, push a bit. He could have done it. Actually, he lost that. Yes, go ahead.
When you say push, you mean to put effort to maintain that samadhi, is what you mean.
That only he could understand. Now
okay.
he is because I was holding his mind. I know what state he's in. And that's the reason I'm sitting at the back and then guiding him. Okay, now you do this. Oh, now you got this. Do next. Do next.
Next is the Bob. Next is a Bobby.
I will see. We'll see. But that was very good of him. Of all the people I've met in during the US tour, Aryu, your ex-manager was the best for me. Because I didn't have to take any trouble. I just told him how to do it. And I was just sitting in the back and he got it. So first time when he got it, I just picked up from his chitta. I held on to his chitta.
Yeah, for those who did not know, I mean, I think he's a very good meditator and he's able to go into past lives and all that stuff. So he worked out in that way, but he hasn't got this one, I guess.
Yes, true. Coming back to this point is you need to have this experience. So you'll start getting this experience as you go from Sotapanna. Then you know Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayam. Abhinya. You're seeing in a different way. And then you get Parinya. In fact, in the Dasuttara Sutta, there is this Abhinya, Parinya, like that. So you will get all of that. Nya is a jnana. Abhinya is seeing it in a different way. You saw it in a totally different way. And that's the reason Buddha doesn't use sanjanati, because there's nothing to perceive. You change the perception. Abhinya. Patavim patavito sanjanati, patavim manyati, pataviya manyati, patavito manyati, patavim abhinandati. Tam kissa hetu aparinyatam iti vadami. You see, parinya has come there. Aparinyatam iti vadami. Because he's not able to discern it. Yes, go ahead.
But if your sila is not good, once you start seeing it in a different way, you start hating that immediately creates disturbances.
Yes, because then it becomes a burden and then that person goes into a depression and all that. In fact, this is one of the happiest thing you could ever do is to see the frame by frame. What is there to get depressed? And hence, Buddha Dhamma is not depression. So if you're getting into depression by seeing it, then there is something wrong in your way of working, because it's blissful, just instant blissful. You feel so happy. Like I was when your manager was doing, I was feeling so happy. Wow, it's nice. And for me, it is an enjoyable thing. Let me play with him a little bit. It was very enjoyable with your manager. And it was so nice, right? You just took left and again left. Turn. I just said, why don't you do like this?
It hardly take 3 seconds. You were saying, look up a little bit. He's like, oh,
yes,
good. And done. And you start getting into it. Yeah. And he came in the last day before we end. So that's a good
Sunday,
climax. Yeah.
Yeah, so the 12th of January. Today we are 11th, so tomorrow it will be a month of we getting with your manager, George. Good. Okay, should we end? Or you want to continue? I have time till 10. I booked this room till 10. Any questions? Otherwise, we can end for today. Tomorrow, we meet. Go ahead.
I guess I find something you said today interesting. You said, I mean, everything is perception. I mean, how this
Yes.
world is created is all based on perception. So I guess moving up require changing perception, but for beings that going into lower realms, that it's also a perception changes, right? When something that is ugly being seen as attractive, we start going into lower realms because we start seeing that as so pleasurable, and craving becomes there.
Yes.
So going around the realm is all about perception of the world, just like
Yes, yes.
half a glass half empty, like that.
Yeah, and Bobby has sent something. A wise man monks was Bahya at a bar Robe who practiced Dhamma in accordance with Dhamma and who did not trouble me on account of Dhamma. Completely emancipated monk is Bahya. The bar Robe. He's actually writing for your George.
Yes.
Yeah. I understand.
He didn't trouble you.
He didn't
Yeah,
trouble me.
that's
Actually, as much as Aryo has troubled me in the years, his manager didn't trouble me at all. I just said, "Hey, George, look up." And so, and his eyes got. So then, in fact, Bobby, I didn't see his eyes. Actually, he's sitting in front along with Aryo. I'm sitting in the back. Okay, it was like he giving me the control of his chitta. So I'm holding on to his chitta. So and I'm saying, okay, do this, do this, do this. And I'm feeling so happy. Wow, it's nice. At the traffic light, where we are supposed to go to the mall, he almost got it. There's Best Buy. I still remember the Best Buy store on the right, and we moved into the traffic light, and then he was about to get it. There's one building there before this Fairfield Mall. So then he dropped it.
I think we also don't want to trouble you much, but maybe we may not have enough. We are not ready.
No,
We are
I'm
not
okay.
asking.
I'm okay. I have no problem in anybody troubling me. Absolutely fair with me. Otherwise, I would have ran away from Aryo's home long time ago. Yes, Meenakshi. Meenakshi, you wanted to speak? No. Okay.
गलती से हो गया सर.
ठीक. Yes, Nisha ji.
Ravindra has. Ravindra.
Is showing. Is the name here is Ravindra, but she is Nisha.
Okay.
She uses a fake ID. Yeah, Shreyas, I couldn't understand. It's for Aryo. Okay.
I think.
सर सर
जी.
ये हाँ सर वो म्यूट रहा था सर. जैसे हम देख रहे थे सर अभी किचन में काम कर रहे सर, तो देख रहे थे जैसे, तो ऐसा अनुभव हुआ सर कि जब मैं अगर यहाँ हुई नहीं तो सर कुछ भी नहीं ले रहा सर. वो कान मेरा नहीं, नाक मेरा नहीं, आंख मेरा नहीं. और कल भी जैसे यार बाजू में प्रोग्राम था तो उनका बहुत साउंड था सर, तो वो भी शब्द नहीं आ रहे थे सर, जैसे गाने वाने बजे थे उनका। तो आपने जो सिखाया सर, आंख मेरा नहीं, कान मेरा नहीं, शब्द मेरे नहीं, तो उससे भी ये संज्ञा में काम फर्क पड़ता है सर, संज्ञा में?
पड़ता है ना।
हाँ सर, अभी जैसे देख रहे थे कुछ दिख ही नहीं रहा, मतलब वो जैसे देखने को देख रहे ऐसा,
हाँ, देखने
सुनने को सुन रहे। हाँ वैसा हो रहा है सर।
वेरी गुड।
अभी जैसे आप बता रहे थे ना फ्रेम ऐसा, तो फ्रेम में तो वो तो ग्रॉस सेंसेशन में तो सर से बोलते हैं नित्य नित्य, लेकिन वो आंख ब्लिंक करते उससे पहले ही बहुत बार उदय हो जाता है ना सर।
सही है।
हाँ, तो अभी देखने को देख ही रहे सर, फिर ऐसा लग रहा अरे ये तो सब क्रिएटेड है, ऐसे मतलब कोई अटैचमेंट जैसे लग ही नहीं रहा सर, सब क्रिएटेड है, सब क्या है, कुछ भी नहीं वस्तु ये सब, और बहुत कुछ हो गया सर। हम बाद में आपसे कॉल करके बात करेंगे सर। अभी मम्मी माता जी भी गिर गई, अमावस्या के जो था ना सर 29 को, उस दिन से तो बहुत कुछ हो गया सर, मतलब बाहर, मतलब बाजू में एक लड़के ने सुसाइड भी कर लिया, बहुत कुछ हो गया सर। हम बाद में बात करेंगे।
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है।
मतलब धम्म हेल्प करता है सर समता में रहने के लिए। तो ऐसा काम हो रहा है। हाँ सर, ऐसा होता है क्या सर, ऐसे देखने को देखना होता है जैसे शायद अपन काम कर रहे हैं?
100% होता है।
हाँ सर, हो रहा है सर।
गुड,
थैंक यू सर।
sure. So what she's saying is that now as I'm talking, she's able to get that, like she's in the kitchen and she is able to see this is not my eyes and ears and nose and tongue and all that, and this everything is evaporated, and she's able to get that is what she's telling me. And she is able to see like whatever I was explaining to her, she's getting the same effect. Yeah, very nice.
Sadhu, sadhu.
That's good. Nice. What else? Shall we end for the day? Still 20 minutes in store. So today I'm totally relaxed, free, nothing killing. Yes, Shreyas.
What I meant was that you said that the perception keeps changing, right? So it can flip the other way around also. So like something which is unattractive, we seem unattractive, so we go down to the lower realms. And if the opposite of that happens, we are basically moving from the lower to the higher. So this is what the sense, like the ayatana, right? The senses keep grazing in the field. So that is what I meant.
Yes, that's correct, Shreyas. See, what happens here is that when the senses are grazing in the field, the higher it gets, the lower it drops. Meaning it'll drop the perception of the lower when it gets the higher. And hence the reason is that neva sanya na sanya ayatana, that ayatana has picked up such a great thing that it can sustain being there but not being there.
Nice. Like to be or not to be.
To be or not to be, yes. Okay, then let's end for today, and good day and good night and good evening, good afternoon, basically.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.